let us now learn about the algebra of complex numbers. Whenever we talk about the algebra of complex numbers, we talk about the four basic operations we use in mathematics. So the four basic operations that we generally use are: first, we start with addition, second is subtraction, the third one is multiplication, and the fourth one is division. Now, let us first start with the addition of complex numbers, and we'll also discuss the properties that come across all of these mathematical operations. So here, first, when we talk about the addition of two complex numbers, let us consider two complex numbers, that is, let us say z1 is taken as a plus ib and the value of z2 is taken as c plus id. So whenever I am going to add these two complex numbers, I am going to write them as z1 plus z2 is equal to adding both the real parts, that is given as a plus c, plus adding both the imaginary parts, that is given as I into b plus d. So it is very essential that in a complex number you have to separate the real and imaginary parts to get the right answer. Now let us discuss what are the properties which come across in this. Firstly, the property is called as the closure law. The closure law states that if we add two complex numbers, that is, we are adding z1 and z2, we are going to get the result as a complex number and not a real number. So whenever we add two complex numbers, the result which we get is always a complex number. Let us take an example for this. Let us say I am taking the z1 value to be 3 plus 4i and the value of z2 to be 2 plus 6i. So the value of z1 plus z2 which I am going to get here is given as 3 plus 2 is nothing but 5 plus 4 plus 6 is equal to 10i. This is how I can add two complex numbers. The next law which come across in this is called as the commutative law. The commutative law states that the order in which I add the complex numbers gives us the same answer. That means that z1 plus z2 is also equal to z2 plus z1. The next law which comes in the addition is the associative law. Associative law comes into picture whenever we have three complex numbers. That is, it states that z1 plus z2 plus z3 is equal to z1 plus z2 plus z3. Here, what does this mean? It means that if I add z2 plus z3 together and then add it to z1, or I first add z1 and z2 together and add it to z3, I am going to get the same answer. So irrespective of this operation, the addition of two complex numbers is always associative. Next one. The next one is called as the additive identity. The property of additive identity here says that whenever I am adding a complex number and anything else is being added to the same complex number, I should again get the same complex number z. So what can I add here to get the same complex number is the number 0. So in this case, 0 is the additive identity for any complex number. Now let us talk about the next property, which is called as the additive inverse. Now, in the additive inverse, it says that whenever I am adding any complex number to the existing complex number, I should get the answer as 0. So here, I am going to add a minus z to this existing complex number plus z so that I get the answer as 0. So in this case, the minus z here is nothing but it is called as the additive inverse of this complex number.